Alright, what's going on guys? It's Apoqsi. Welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. So recently PSX Extreme, which is a Polish magazine, released a truckload of detailed information for Cyberpunk 2077. So here in this video, we're going to cover 3 large bits of information gathered from that magazine. So huge shout out to the Reddit user Rise92 for the translation. First thing I really want to talk about is the Badlands. Some people know about this already, as we have heard about it in the past. I believe it was last month or something like that that we heard about it first, but we got a little bit more information about it. And also, not everyone knows about the Badlands. Everyone knows about Night City in the game, but a lot of people don't realize that there's actually another location in the game, that being the Badlands, which is the outskirts of Night City. So here's the detailed information we got in translation. Badlands outside of the Night City are a hostile place. The flora is very minimal, and so is the fauna, mostly extinct or eaten with the help of a much worse animal, humans. It's not a place you want to go alone or unarmed. So think of it like outside of Night City is a wasteland. When you make that trip outside, you're in for a rough ride. Night City is like the Diamond City of Fallout 4, with the Badlands being like the Commonwealth. And I feel like Cyberpunk 2077, it's going to be even more rough than that though, as Night City's already going to be rough, let's be honest. And I honestly love this idea. Night City isn't exactly what you would call a safe space, and yet outside of it is considered much worse. So I cannot wait for my first venture out into the Badlands. There has to be something out there worth leaving Night City for, and we already know that we will get a number of missions dragging us out there as well, and there's also a faction out there that we can work with. So what am I talking about? Well, we actually got to learn a little bit more about the Nomads, who are the ones living on the outskirts of Night City. So the Badlands. These are what will make venturing out into the Badlands a bumpy ride. So here are the details we got in translation. The Nomads living in the outskirts are Wraights and Aldecados. They have their own conflict and wars between each other. Wraights are up to no good with the player. Aldecados, on the other hand, are slightly more keen to have a deal with you. So to clarify for those that don't know, Nomads are essentially gangs that live in their cars. Think of it like the Badlands essentially being Mad Max. That's really the best way to put it. We'll have one gang, the Wraights, trying to kill us on sight, and another that is open to deal with us, but will also likely try to kill us from time to time, or eventually further into the game. Honestly, sounds like a blast. Now I think we should talk about some interesting information about the sort of lore, I guess, for Cyberpunk 2077. So between years 2020 and 2077, cyberspace got hacked by a famous Netrunner. However, since then, corporations created Blackwall, which cuts off the hacked and dangerous cyberspace from the rest of the infrastructure. Sort of like the dark web in our world. Some Netrunners try to explore the deadly side of it, but none have returned. And what it means by that is you can actually die by net running. Think of it sort of like the Matrix, as these Netrunners use cybernetically augmented interface systems implanted into their body and go looking for things to hack and information to sell. And then you can think of the Blackwall, sort of like the agents from the Matrix. They're kind of trying to keep things locked down in a way. It's like the security system. I don't know if that is a great analogy for it. You can let me know down in the comments. But the thing about net running, like I said earlier, is that you can actually die well in the system. So that is why I related it to the Matrix. You're connecting yourself to a system and you can die through that system. You're essentially plugging yourself in and gathering information directly through your brain. So net running in Cyberpunk is much like the system used in the Matrix, but it's not an exact match. I don't think it's like you're living in a virtual reality. So that's just a basic way of explaining it. I'm not saying my explanation is perfect by any means. I'm simply trying to put it in layman's terms. And to wrap up this video, here is what the magazine had to say about the world itself, which I would say all of us will agree with. The level of detail is captivating. Together with the atmosphere, it creates a very unique world. And I think even from the demo we saw in the past, that is very apparent. You can actually watch my reaction video of that demo and just see that I kept getting blown away with the level of detail and care put into the world design, and also the feature set of the game itself. Cyberpunk 2077 honestly looks like a masterpiece from everything we've seen. Now we just have to wait to see whether or not it plays like a masterpiece on release. I also want to let you know that I will be covering the rest of the information in this article in depth, so be sure to keep a lookout for more Cyberpunk 2077 videos coming your way here on the channel. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed or found it informative whatsoever, please smack that like button down below, subscribe to Join the Good Fight if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to stay updated in all of my future videos. It'd be super greatly appreciated as always, and until next time, this is Apoqsi signing off.